If you had 500K, what would you start invest in? Title says it all really. Interest rates are up so a person can at least earn 5 sitting in a CD. But the money can't sit like that and get eaten by inflation. So, without taking too much risk, what kind of business would you invest in or start yourself? I'm in logistics and from a country in Africa. Mining equipment is big. I'd buy a 75-ton excavator machine. It returns 75K 80K a month. You can do the math. Index funds. You could take 20K year out without eating into your 500K. Or take nothing out and be set for retirement. Invest 20 of that on yourself, then figure out what to do with the other 70. Buy an affordable cabin by a city with at least a regional airport and become about 70 self-sustainable. Freelance random creative gigs. Garden. I would probably try to buy an existing company that has positive cash flow. Big question: are you willing to work along with your money or you want just your money to work for you? Do you have time you can invest with your money? I never hand over my money to anything to self-operate and keep hoping praying for profit. Start a motor coach bus route from McAllen, Texas to San Antonio, Austin and Houston to Brownsville, South Padre Island. It would just be one bus going in a loop. And have a backup bus contract with different companies. I would go the boggleheads or bogglehead route and invest in large dividend funds like Vu Vito. And reinvest the dividends until you need to retire. Then start using them to live off of. Lamborghini SVJ. Plastics. I only know about e-com. So I would say start your own store and partner up with the right people who could manage everything for you. You can even sell these stores for multiple 6-7 figures later on once you have good numbers. 500 large and you ask the rabble of Reddit? Therapy. 85 index funds VU, 15 BTC. Factoring and leasing production equipment. Washing machines, vending machines, in-app laundry room. Once you perfect your equipment, you rent it to just about any business and get it returned should the business fail. I would live in a tent and retire. What you would start definitely depends on the person. I would lean towards a niche media company. However, a content creation agency would be quite easy to scale with 500K and some good outsourcing. Invest in. Again, depends on the person, risk levels, etc. I would invest 15 into physical gold silver, 50 into index funds, 10 in public markets for myself to play with, 25 into startups. An AI marketing agency. AI marketing has a growth projection of about $1 trillion United States dollars in the next few years. I took my first agency business to almost 30K a month in less than 12 months. It's simpler now than it was back in 2016 when I started. Look up the ticker SCHD by Schwab. It pays out roughly 4 quarterly in dividends with 2/3 the growth of the SP 500. It was very stable in turbulent times of 22 feet. I *D buy 4 or 5 2-bedroom flats in Spain to start and rent them out to all the rich Brits looking for cheap vacations. You can find ones with pools for 100K. Couldn't *TC you not making at least 50K a year on that. You would probably make that in May-August alone. McDonald's. Monopoly is out at the moment. Could spend 500K and get a new iPad. I would put together an amazing chalk art festival. Properties without a doubt. Buy a quadplex. Rent out other 3. Live rent free. Buy more properties. With 500K, you can buy 2.53 mil in assets. Take cash flow and reinvest in the property. In 2 years refinance. Pull all your cash out. Now you have a cashless investment appreciating and earning cash flow. Do it again. And again and again. Keep doing this. This is how wealth is built. I'd probably put half of it into $JEPI or $JEPQ and live off the dividends. Maybe daily trade another $100K and put $200K into $SPY. This is not financial advice, haha. Real estate could get you 240 feet by 100 metal self-storage buildings. But the land would be separate. 2 units could probably earn you $45,000 annually after expenses, at least in my area. If you don't have a mortgage, it's more. CDs. Buy 2 flats. 1 to live in, 1 to rent. Use some of the rental income for living expenses. Save the rest for maintenance, rainy day, etc. After 20-odd years, both flats ought to have appreciated considerably. If you have no debt and you are sitting on $500,000, invest in a financial advisor. It's pretty simple. Easy. Multifamily. You can do a balanced portfolio with different classes of property to weather different economic cycles. Value-add properties will yield 20 IRRs with a 70-30 LTV. If you're not ready to dive into a loan, you can syndicate a deal and find an operator or a syndicator who does all the FDD and hires a third-party management company. Bitcoin. I'd continue investing in my herbal remedies company. I will buy a good agricultural landwoman farmer rice plant. Another house. If I'd be you, I'd invest the majority of the money in index funds, etc. And would start a business with the rest. No funds or investment can compete with the return of creating a successful business. Not sure what to do? Use some of your money to position yourself to be in the right room at the right time. MFA. I'd invest in broad market index funds. Historically, equities have grown way more than inflation. Since the market is not in a great spot, a solid index fund, like others are saying, just wait 10 years, you could probably retire. An intuitive project management system for web developers. Mouth. Theta Gang. I'd invest in how to be stable with that money and how to handle impulses to go running and spending the dough. Bitcoin. Robotics. I'm a cybernetician. The first capitalists to bet $500K on me will become incredibly rich. I'll probably end up bootstrapping the first $100K at least, though. Same question, different dollar amount every day, lol. VU VX US $50,000 in a HYSA. Not very entrepreneurial, but it would give me the freedom to explore all options business-wise over time. A strip club. Rhodium. Physical rhodium. THC. Me. VC markets are trash right now and I am having a hell of a time getting seed funding. I'd make my dream video game, a quick service pizza restaurant simulator. It would be probably garbage like the other ones you can buy, but at least it doesn't exist yet in first person. With these interest rates and no investing background, a combination of term deposits and index funds is appropriate. Put $200K into a term deposit. Put $200K into government bonds. Put $50K into index fund. Put $50K into blue chip individual stocks. In 6 months, 1 year. Move your term deposits to index fund after you are comfortable with how the market works and you've lost your $50K on individual stocks. Myself, I have SaaS ideas for days and would get those up and running.